Jimmy with the Triple C Collective here for another superhero movie. Today, we're going to be diving into The Flash, DC's much mangled and delayed Flash with one Ezra Miller, the returning Michael Keaton, the returning Ben Affleck, both reprising their roles as Batman, respectively, and Bruce Wayne. I'm really excited. This movie, I had the opportunity to see it twice. I saw it once originally at an advanced screening, and really, I can tell you there are two things that were different about my advanced screening and what everybody else saw in June. The advanced screening I saw, there was a pre-recorded tape that Andy Machete and Barbara Machete said that the ending that we would see in our advanced screening is not the final ending that we would be seeing in in June when the movie was released, and that was all 100% true. When we get to the end, I will tell you the differences of what I actually saw there, both in the advanced screening and then finally here with the actual ending that we got. But yeah, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the review here. For me personally, I uh, I really liked it. It had a really weird opening scene. I remember this was like really weird. The opening is very interesting. The Flash basically is trying to order coffee, gets a call from Alfred, has to go to a hospital to help Bruce Wayne while Bruce Wayne is like catching a criminal with a chemical of some kind. Barry then needs to help save people at a hospital. And in the end, he gets saves the babies. The hospital starts collapsing, but the babies are just falling in this collapsing hospital. And I was just like so like it was like a great way to like I guess start the movie in that sense because I was so jarred and like locked in. I didn't really know how to like what to expect from it or how to look at it or anything like that. Like it was just crazy. It was just crazy stuff. And so like the building is collapsing. Flash is like saving all the babies and everything, save the nurse, and like it's crazy. It's awesome. Then we get a cut to Batman chasing down the criminals, trying to catch them with the chemical and all of that stuff. That was really great. It's really awesome because they give us the classic blue and gray Batman suit, which is really awesome. I love that. I love that classic suit like that. And oh man, it's just so cool. It's just so cool. Batman's like grapnel, like he uses grapnel launcher, and that's why like in the trailers you saw him all kind of flying around in the street and stuff like that. Well, that's why he's doing it because he's got the grapnel attached to him. That whole thing's great. The criminals and the like after the chase, Batman basically gets them to crash their car onto a bridge. Flash shows up, and then Wonder Woman. We got our first cameo. Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman shows up, and she helps save Batman, the criminal, making sure that the chemical doesn't go into like Gotham Harbor and all of that kind of stuff. And it's great. Batman has the lasso of truth on him, so we get a couple of like really funny moments of him being like, I don't even know why I dress up. I would probably be better if I just gave all my money away and everything like that, which is like an argument that people have literally been having for years now about Batman, is that he literally could probably do more good by like literally giving money away and like doing like true philanthropy like that and stuff as opposed to dressing up like a giant bad running around Gotham beating up criminals. Um, so like that stuff's really funny, and we've gotten a lot of that in this. And recently, we also got James Gunn's Peacemaker kind of making similar comments to that. Same thing about like Batman and whatnot. And then of course it's always great to see Gal Gadot dressed up as Wonder Woman. She's great as Wonder Woman, an amazing Wonder Woman. Love it. And so yeah, then we move on to like Barry starting to. Now this is where we kind of start getting a little bit more into like the Flashpoint, like really kind of beat for beats with Flashpoint here. And when I say that, I'm talking about Flashpoint, the original Jeff Johns comic run that he did, and I mean, obviously, if you're familiar with Flashpoint from CW in the Flash TV show. You've got enough knowledge there. Again, the Flashpoint was that like everyone might do little slight variations, but it's all basically the same story. So this is where we start getting like all of this. Barry's worried about his dad. He gets a new tape from Bruce Wayne because Wayne Tech has, Wayne Enterprises created new tech that allows to descramble this security. Unfortunately, Barry's dad is still looking down the entire time, despite a completely clear. It like yeah, they confirmed that he was wearing that hat and that shirt and stuff, but in the end, to exonerate him for Barry's mother's murder, we need to see his face in that store to then put him in the timeline of that he couldn't have been there to do it. And so we get that, and then Barry's just like really bummed out, sad, all of that stuff, and he enters the Speed Force, and he kind of does some time travel, and he time travels like one day, and this is really cool because I love the DC, like these movies that Zack Snyder did, like with the Speed Force that we've gotten, like in his Snyder cut, and then like what Andy Machete did here. It's great. I really always like the Speed Force. I liked it on the CW show. I just think they've just like kind of nailed it whenever they've done this like entering thing. And then we see like all of these color changes. We see like linear line and like all of this crazy stuff. And then eventually it ends in like what I can only call as a gyrosphere of time basically. And so like Barry's in this like golden ball, and then uh, in his own little golden ball, and then he's like a snow globe, or kind of. I don't know how to describe it. He's in a gyro, and then around the gyro that Barry is in, where he can see everything, you can see the different timelines, almost like belts, basically, kind of moving, and they're moving in like a left to right kind of like clockwise. But then you start also seeing like things moving top to bottom on there, and it's just a really cool kind of like puzzle piece of like of time and stuff, and how like it's showing you doing one change here, that, and all that kind of stuff. And it was really neat. It was really awesome. I really liked it. I thought it was super sweet. And so yeah, I love seeing this. And then as like we get the different passages of time and everything, Barry's thinking about the tape woes, but yeah, we see like um, completely CGI renders of Henry Cavill's Superman and Jason Momoa's Aquaman, like very CGI distorted and stuff like that. And then um, we get the goes back in time and he sees himself saving those babies from the day prior. And then he talks back and he tells Bruce about this and everything. And I was able to travel back in time. And he's like, "Don't do this. Don't mess with it." He's like, "I can save her. I can save your parents too." And like Batman's like, "You don't know what can happen if you do this. Like, you can unravel time. Don't do this, Barry. This is a bad idea." And then Barry does it. Like, keeps he time travels and goes back in time, and as he keeps time traveling. But as he's time traveling, if you've ever seen the Flashes, um, like CW, because they gave him a name, Savitar, and whatnot. And so if you've seen that, you get this like Savitar looking creature, kind of like all metal kind of stuff that punches Barry out of the Speed Force when he's going back in time. And where does he land? He lands where in a timeline where his mother is alive, he is in college, but he's not home right now. And that's where we go. Like he gets a second chance with his mom here. He gets to meet and like live with his mom for a little bit. And they're like his parents, the conversations and stuff here are all kind of weird and odd because Barry's like saying things that he as the Flashberry knows and not as this timeline who I will call College Barry knows and acts and does. So there's a couple of backtracking and like just weird things that he does and says here. But overall, it's pretty great. Then he meets himself. You get the awesome thing of like seeing College Barry get tackled by Flash Barry in the front yard and everything like that. It's great. They find out actually that today is the day that Barry, College Barry, is supposed to be getting his powers. And since his dad never went to trial, he hasn't done his internship at the at the crime lab or anything like that, so he's not there to get the lightning struck. And so Flashberry is like, man, we got to get you there. That happens tonight in a couple of hours. We need you to get your powers because if you don't get them, then me being from the future, I may not get them, and this is bad for business. And so they get there, and they're arguing about like getting struck by lightning eventually. And College Berry is like, no, no, no. Flashberry gets in front of College Berry. The lightning hits Flashberry, taking away Flashberry's powers, giving them to College Berry. Then, at this point, former powerless Flashberry is then like, dude, we've got to get the Justice League together. We've got to find Batman. We've got to find Aquaman, Superman. Definitely need Superman. We need Wonder Woman. We need them all. And um, this is basically right around when um, powerless Flashberry is saying he's to find the Justice League. This is also right around the time where General Zod um, attacks and begins his like. This is where we really start getting more of those worlds colliding, from Man of Steel and all of that. Zod attacking Earth and everything like that. See all of the like messages and stuff that Zod is giving and has been sending and everything like that. So it's all very interesting. And we get that. Michael Shannon comes back, which is great. Everybody comes back. Um, it was I love Michael Shannon. Just such a fun actor to watch, and whether he's being like a good guy, a slimy guy, or just straight out like villain, he's always so. And I really liked his General Zod. I thought that like he actually gave like a really really good performance as General Zod, especially in there. And so then they start looking. Barry eventually meets his um, powerless Flashberry meets College Barry's roommate. And these roommates confirm that there is a Batman. And Barry's like, well, I know Batman. I know where Batman lives. I know everything about Batman, the cave, Wayne Manor, all of that stuff. So we're going to go find Batman. And then, so then we're probably at like, maybe like the 40-ish, so maybe hour mark. Yeah, I think Zod attacks about the 40, 45 minute mark of this movie. And then I think about the hour mark, about 15, 20 minutes later, you get the introduction to Wayne Manor finally here. And, this is one of those things like when in the advanced screening and in the regular screening I went to, like when Wayne Manor shows up, like the crowd erupted. Like it was awesome. Everybody was waiting for this. And I mean, they nailed it. Like they nailed it. Keaton is back, baby. Um, and so let's talk about it. So when we get to Wayne Manor, it looks definitely run down. You got like random ivy growing outside of like, the metal fence and like the gate to get in and everything. Once you get inside, you see it's all kind of run amok, not really like super clean or anything like that. And, there's just kind of stuff everywhere. We get to they keep looking around. There's like water boiling on the kitchen. So like, the berries are like, well, somebody's here at least, whether they're squatting or it's Bruce Wayne himself or, Batman himself. Somebody's here and we need to now reach out and get to them and like find them because somebody's here. Eventually Keaton is hiding in a cupboard because he got notified obviously when people came onto his property, Batman. Um, and so he was hiding in a cupboard, comes out, attacks. The whole battle with the Flash is awesome because powerless Flashberry is just getting knocked around by Batman, whereas new powered College Flashberry is like just like dodging out of the way, and every time he dodges, the other Barry's getting hit, and it's just like really awesome. It's a really great sequence. And so this goes on for a little bit. And Barry's like, "Hey, we've got to find Superman. Man of Steel from Krypton, and we got to find him. It could be, And Barry keeps asking, well, who is this Clark person you're talking about? Clark is this human like disguise name, and everything. Kal-El is his Kryptonian name. Turns out Batman, we get Batman's like, well, maybe I can help you find this Superman and like get rid of this General Zod guy. And so Batman then brings him down to the Batcave. There's like five. They start doing some research on where this could be. Batman comes up with a file on a alien that is being held by, I think, the in Siberia, Russian government, some maybe unnamed kind of government, but I think it's being held. The prison itself is in Siberia, whether or not it's like Russian ties. So, sure, whatever. Beside the point. So they go there. They go and we get the well, hold on. Before we go there, we also get Barry, College Barry, looking at the Batmobile and being amazed and everything. We get Powerless Flash Barry kind of starting to be like, dude, you're taking for granted being with your mom and everything. Yeah, and Powerless Barry also hasn't told College Barry that their mom dies, and that's kind of what he's like, why he's back here, what he's been trying to do and stuff. Um, so they um, they decide that they need to go save uh, Supergirl or Superman, who we find out, spoilers, Supergirl, but we all knew that from the trailers and everything. So they get there, um, very like college Flash, or I'm sorry, powerless Flash Barry is going in completely powerless. Like only College Flash and Batman really have any kind of like fighting know-how or can do anything. So they get in there, they see a girl. They fight all the like guards and everything like that. They get to the big ball thing that again, if you've read the Flashpoint comics, like it's right there. Or yeah, if you've read the Flashpoint comics, it's right there. That's where Superman is being held in this world because Superman just like falls and gets taken captured. And it's not like Superman Red Sun where he's actually raised in Russia. No, he is like an alien, so he is a prisoner. So he's never seen the outside world. So he's all like petite and scrawny and everything like that. And it's the same thing with Sasha here, who plays our Kara Zor-El, our Supergirl, and she's great and she's awesome. She's so good. It's way different than Melissa Benoist from the CW Flash. I'm not knocking Melissa's performance. She is a fantastic, fantastic, and a definitive portrayal of Supergirl in that show. Sasha Kelly, I believe, is how you say her last name. Um, Sasha Cal. But she gives a whole different side of a Supergirl performance that we've never seen before in a Supergirl portrayal. We've never seen. It's like it is also in line with what I would call that like darker kind of tonnage of like what Zack Snyder had done with this DCU, and that this basically being the Splash movie, excuse me, basically being the last entry in this universe and resetting the whole DC universe. And so like seeing Sasha, here being all like petite and frail, and then getting her outside, and then her starting to power up as they're escaping, like the line of Batman closing his fist and saying "Try not to die" is awesome. And seeing that whole sequence outside of like all of them fighting and stuff, amazing, amazing. Um, so then we get back to the Batcave, and Batman is like, "All right, we got your Supergirl, but I'm here. I'm here to help. I'm gonna help you defeat this Zod. Let's do this." Um, Supergirl's like, "Why did you save me? Humans are evil people, but I appreciate you saving me. I don't necessarily trust them, but maybe I should start to because of you." So she dips off. She leaves. She goes and finds Zod and the rest of the Kryptonians, and they are all just they're coming down. They just killed like two or three people. We see. She screams no, and it's like, and then like Zod and all them, they have a little like minor tit and tat, and Sasha comes back. Supergirl comes back, and Flash, not powerless Flashberry, is like, I need my powers back. If she's gone and it's only us three to do this, like I need my powers back. We need the Justice League. We need the team to be here. And so they try getting his powers back. They put up like the Batman kite and everything like that. It gets fried, and then Supergirl comes back. She comes back. She lifts up the semi-fried, half-dead, powerless Flashberry up into the thunderstorm and stuff, and gets flies basically towards some lightning, and Barry gets hit, and she brings him back into the cave, lays him down, and they're all just like kind of waiting there for a minute, beat, and then he starts healing, and they're all like, "Yeah, it's working. He's getting his powers back. This is so great." And it is great. It is awesome that Barry gets his powers back and everything like that. So now we move on to the battle with Zod, and the battle with Zod is extremely long. This is probably one place out of this like 2.5 hour movie that we got here that I thought that we could have trimmed down some bits, because what it is, it's repeating and it's showing. They go through the motions once, they battle, they fight. We get the cool Batwing and all of that again. We get the shot of the berries going foot to foot, trying to fight people. You've got we get Flashberry teaching college Barry how to complete the circuit and dissipate their like energy charge that they stack up and things. So we get some like really great things, but in the end, the Flashes just keep losing and losing and losing. And Batman dies, Supergirl dies, they both die. One or the other dies, and well, actually, in every single one, Supergirl dies. Batman didn't always die, but he died a lot. And so they, they come to the conclusion that College Barry is like, I can do this one more time. I can save them all. Both Barry, Flashberry, College Barry get put into the gyrosphere of the Speed Force again, and then we see regular Flashberry stay there as College Flashberry keeps going back to the battle, and he comes back now with different parts. Like one thing we saw from him is he got a big hook coming out of his arm, a Kryptonian hook. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, they're doing like the Savitar thing as well with the like they did in the Flash CW show. And so like spoilers, if you haven't seen the Flash CW show, don't know, but I mean like watch it. It's great. Everything that the CW put out was like amazing. So go check it out. Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, uh, Legends of Tomorrow, Black Lightning, all of it is just so awesome. But the Flash is like extremely good. Flash might be my favorite one out of all of those. Arrow might be my second. Flash and Arrow might be tied. Either way, Flash is really good. And like they did it so well. They did the Flashpoint storyline also extremely well. Um, but here then we get College Berry then going back and back and back. And then we also see this Savitar type, like this dude in a full on metal body coming out um and like attacking and talking, and then we see College Barry come back, and then we find out that the dude in this like metal suit is the College Barry from the future now. He keeps trying to go back and fix things, and he keeps losing. Can't do it. And what this College Savitar metal looking, um, metal looking monster of Barry is saying is that it is you, Flash Barry, you are the anomaly that keeps stopping us. You are the one who doesn't allow us to win, doesn't allow us to save mom and keep going back and restarting it. And then there's like a fight and all of that. In the end, the college Flash Barry is sacrificing himself. Like Savitar, the future metal looking college Barry, takes like a metal shard and tries to like attack. It kills the younger college one, so then both are gone. The college one and then the Savitar one. And are both gone. But in the middle of like this fight and going on, like Flash Barry is trying to explain like you are pulling in these other worlds. You are destroying these other worlds just to try and make sure that like our mom can live, and we can't do this. Other worlds shouldn't have to sacrifice like that. And then that's where we get the Christopher Reeve and Helen Slater as Superman and Supergirl, respectively, cameos, which was really sweet. We get the George Reeve and Adam West Batman, uh, Superman and Batman appearance. And then finally, we also get one that is so close to my heart because I love Kevin Smith so much. I don't do these things without being a fan of Kevin Smith. And we get the death of Superman. We get the death of Superman. You know, we get the Nick Cage versus the giant spider. That was like the final act to the script that Kevin Smith made or wrote for the Nick Cage, uh, Nick Cage, Tim Burton supposed to direct and be made Superman. And I love that. I love seeing it. And then we get the final act of like that of that battle and everything is College Berry saving Flash Berry, and then we get that then like the world pull apart and everything kind of starts like starts like fixing itself. Now we're into the like last like 30 minutes of this movie. And that is we get Barry because all of the other evil berries are all gone now. Bad berries are all gone now. So now we get Barry visiting his mom, and as we saw at the beginning, um, like when all this kind of like happened, he switched the tomato can, so his dad never had to leave, and blah 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 blah. All that stuff is fine. That's switch the moments. What Barry then does is he talks with his mom. It's really emotional because it's the last conversation he knows he will really ever be able to have with his mother. And so he says all this beautiful, wonderful stuff. He, takes the tomatoes out of the cart. He says goodbye. And as he's walking, he goes to put the tomatoes back. But instead, he looks at the bottom, looks at the top, and then we get a cut to the court scene. And then in the court scene, we get Barry, or Barry's dad's lawyer, walking through the new tape that we got. And the tape that we got is of Barry's dad, again, very similar to what we saw before the unscrambled video. Barry's dad clearly in his hat, his shirt, looking at the tomato. Difference is what Barry did, slight final change he made that he did for his dad. He switched the tomato can from the bottom shelf to the top shelf. Therefore, Barry's dad looks up and the camera can see his face. And that gives Barry's dad the timeline proving that he couldn't kill Barry's mother and, freeze him, which is awesome. It's amazing. It was so great to get and to have and everything like that, um, it was just awesome. Like, there's no other real way to, like, say it or anything like that. And so then, he's cleared of his mom's death. Then now we're getting into the true end and final, um, our true final, uh, 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 our true final uh, cameo of the movie. This is the biggest change: is that at the end Barry gets a call from a Bruce Wayne, and at the end Barry, when gives the uh, when he gives the call, he's like, "Oh, hey, Bruce, this is awesome." Like, and Bruce is like, "Yeah, I'm about to pull up." I couldn't in the advanced screening couldn't tell you at all who that voice was. I don't know if they modulated it, messed it up, or if they literally didn't have who this cameo was even speaking. Then if they had somebody else do it, but it was wild. Well, actually, sorry, before that, before the court and his dad getting free, Barry's dad getting free, Barry wakes up late and is running to court, and the director Andy Machete puts himself in like little small cameos. So Andy Machete's getting ready to get a hot dog, and Barry's Flash like is running by, grabs it, and then goes into court. That's actually a funny bit that I forgot. But we're getting out there. Barry's waiting, and he's like, "Okay, Bruce, I'll like see you here in a second." And then what we get is this is the biggest difference. When I said I would be talking about that ending different of what I saw in the advanced screening and what I saw here in the advanced screening, right here, Barry says, "Okay, Bruce, see you soon." We cut to the car pulling up, crowd around it, cameras flashing and everything, and then we see a pant leg get and that pant leg, nothing. You see a blue pant leg. Couldn't even tell you if it was a man's pant leg. I assume it was a man's. We're talking about Bruce Wayne, but again, I don't know. You see a pants leg. That's all you see, and then it cuts. You see directed by Andy Machete. No other credits. Gone. Donezo. And I was like, ah, sweet. They have set up the. They set up James Gunn's new DC perfectly. Perfectly. We did not need any other changes done because now we've got our new Batman Brave and the Bold, no problem, raring and ready to go. And that was just not the case. Yeah. Um, we, despite very much so having the pre-recorded video from director Andy Machete and and director and Andy and Barbara Machete. Despite having them say that the ending that you're going to see in this advanced screening is not really the ending that everyone will be getting in June, I was like, perfect. They set up James Gunn's new DC. Excellent. But I was wrong because on June 16th, that opening weekend, when I saw it, who comes out of that car at the end? None other than a Mr. George Clooney. And now I'm confused. Super confused. Because does that mean George Clooney is now the new Batman going forward for Batman Brave and the Bold? Possibly. The ending of not seeing the Batman, I thought worked better, or not seeing George Clooney. I thought that personally worked better because it left it unnamed, and then literally the next Batman we would be seeing is that Batman Brave and the Bold. Now, to be fair, this could be just like literally the closing of the DCEU chapter, and now the James Gunn chapter is maybe a new universe of DC, and he's starting with the gods and monsters and all of that stuff that he's getting. But I'm not gonna lie, I was super confused after I walked out of the original. After I walked out of my second time seeing the like Flash movie when it was fully released in June, um, and I was so confused by that. It really did confuse me a lot. But I really like this movie overall. I just don't. I just didn't get the idea of giving us George Clooney like that if this was meant to reset everything. Now I'm confused. Um, and so like I mean, but I got whatever. So now I'm a little bit more confused on that. But overall, I really like the movie The Flash. Ezra Miller has a lot of problems that they need to really like clean themselves up and like really apologize and really start doing some things. So I know a lot of people won't like it, won't like The Flash, or won't support it, or won't go out there. And that's totally your own prerogative, and absolutely I get that if you don't want to go see it. Me personally, I had to go see it because I really wanted to see what Michael Keaton was, and I love Ben Affleck's Batman, and I love Michael Keaton, so I really went there for those two. I went to a Flash movie to go see Batman, and yeah, overall I really liked this movie. I thought it was really good. Definitely a little long in the teeth. Definitely could have been cut a little bit, but it's not a bad movie and it's not a bad time. Like I really enjoyed it. I really did. Seeing it twice was awesome. Seeing that advanced screening was awesome. So yeah, I had a really great time. Since I did go to two different viewings of it, one thing I do want to grab really quickly here is I got two different really cool posters. So the first poster that I got was from the advanced screening, and that's the Worlds Collide poster. This was super sweet. I really like this poster. We've got Supergirl, Flash, got Batman, all of it right here. This is just a great, great, great freaking poster. super cool. So that was at the advanced screening of this. And then, if you saw it in IMAX um, via AMC, you got this poster. So I just wanted to show you these two really great posters that we got for The Flash for seeing it in advanced screening. I really love this IMAX poster. If I'm being honest, that's why I saw it in the IMAX. Saw it at the Quarry here in the suburbs of Chicago in IMAX, and they had this poster opening night. I had to grab it. I mean, that's why I went to the IMAX and went to IMAX opening night was so that I could grab this really sweet poster. I love both of these posters. They're both really great. Um, so all I can say is I really love this movie. Go ahead and check it out. I think it's well worth the time. I think you're gonna have a good time at the movies. If Ezra Miller and all of the legal problems that they've been through over the last couple of years, something that's going to turn you off to it, totally cool too. I'd say maybe check it out on at home or on streaming, or if a friend has it rented or whatever, go check it out that way. Otherwise, you just miss out. It's totally cool. But I loved it. If you're a DC fan, you got to see this. If you're a Flash fan, you have to see this. If you're a Batman fan, you definitely have to see this. I think it's a really great play. I really liked it. So with all of that, I am Jimmy with the Triple C Collective. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up my Flash Superhero Saturday movie review for you. I hope you all and stay safe. Please like and subscribe to our channel and to this video. And as always, I am Batman.